Chapter 9, Confrontation. You stalk across the campus, furious at Markus for what he wrote about Alpha Tau. How could he do this to us? Was he ever my friend, or did he just need me as an inside scoop? You find yourself wishing you'd already passed the test of the Blood Moon so you could rip Markus to shreds, but... Get it together, Tal. If you lose it on him, it'll just prove him only right. When you finally arrive at his apartment, you slam the door hard with your fist. Open up, Markus. I know you're in there. You're shuffling for a few moments before Markus opens the door. His face betrays no remorse, and you resist the urge to punch it. He looks at his watch. I figured you'd darken my doorstep, but less than 30 minutes after the article was published? Don't tell me Channing sent you to do his dirty work. I came because you betrayed me. You let me believe I could trust you. You made me think we were friends. We were friends right up until you chose Alpha Tau and Channing and over me. Maybe I chose them because they didn't use me to push their own agenda. If you really believe that, you're more naive than I thought. Your patience at an end, you push your way into his room, slam the door behind you, and let loose your rage. You son of a... How could you do this to me? To me! If you'd cooperated, given me anything to go on, maybe you could have helped shape the narrative. Instead, you fell under Channing's lowing spell, joined his cult, and well, here we are. If I'm naive, you're straight up delusional. I'm not under anyone's spell, not even Channing's. That's exactly what an indoctrinated cult member would say. Consider this an intervention, Tal. If anything, you should be thanking me. Thanking you. Markus? You made everything up. Excuse me, I wrote a story based on information I gathered. What information? I told you there was no dirt to dig up, so you created alternative facts for your story. You're not just lying, Markus, it's libel. That's a dangerous word to say to a journalist, Tal. Prove me wrong if you can, but if you come for me, you'd better make sure you don't miss. I really hate that you're hurt by this. I hope you'll see reason and get out while you still can. But in the meantime, I've got some follow-up interviews to do. Gamma Psi has a lot to say about you and Channing at the Greek Games. Fingers crossed the story goes national. This isn't over. I'm gonna prove you wrong if it's the last thing I do. You're right, Tal. It isn't over, and it isn't safe. Please, let me protect you from these animals before you get dragged down with them. Animals? That's just a figure of speech, right? That's rich coming from one of them dragging. Why don't you leave us animals alone and do some real journalism instead of this tabloid garbage? You stick your middle finger in his face and then storm out of the door. That was a good... See, you could have pried more for if he knew something in regards to them being actual werewolves or not. You take a long way back to the house, the events that led you to this point replaying like a film in your mind. Markus, Alpha Tau, Channing, Kala, the party. Your rage slowly turns to anxiety, then guilt, as you realize... Maybe this is my fault. When you finally return to the house, you hear angry voices arguing in the library. But I saw them talking at the party. Me too. You rush inside, but as you step through the door, the shouting stops and every head in the room turns to you. Tal, we've been... But before she can finish, Randy pushes towards you. His face is a mask of contempt. Oh, look, the rat's back. Who'd you bring this time with you? The FBI, maybe? Randy, I'm not a rat. Markus was snooping into Alpha Tau long before he met me, and maybe the one who led him into our home. Our home? That's a bold statement coming from someone who's gonna get their ass kicked out. You bare your teeth in feral warning. Taken completely by surprise, Randy stumbles back. Damn, Tal. You've been taking lessons? Maybe Channing's running off on me. Look, I don't want to fight. Just hear me out, I have something to say. You look around at the people who have become your friends and contemplate the impact of what you're about to say. I lived in the campus apartments. Markus was my neighbor. He was the first friend here, so I thought. The first time we met, he said he was writing an expose on Alpha Tau. He implied you were dangerous. So, when Channing invited me here, Markus asked me to look around the house and tell him if I found anything strange. A collective gasp ripples through the crowd. You turn to Lupe and Asher, and even they seem shocked. You spied on us? I knew it. This is her fault. Kala and I. Keep my name out of your mouth. What? But you're the... Quiet! Channing steps from the shadows, radiating the full power of an alpha. Everyone stops talking and backs away as he passes. You try to catch his eye, hoping he'll lend you his support, but he doesn't look your way. Tal is one of us. Let her say what she has to say. Randy flinches at the cold fury of his voice. He shoots you a baleful glare, then slinks back into the crowd. Channings finally turns to you, his expression inscrutable. Now would be a good time for you to explain yourself. Heart hammering in your chest, you square your shoulders and look at the pack. I didn't tell Markus anything. After the party, after I found out you were werewolves, I did nothing but lie to Markus at every turn. Everyone in this room put their trust in me. I would never betray that. I thought if I didn't give him answers, he'd back off. I had no idea he'd publish a bunch of lies. The room is silent for a moment, before Lupe stands up and shoots the room a look of fierce defiance. I believe Tal. That Markus dude clearly tried to manipulate her. He stabbed Tal in the back when he wrote that story. She's an Alpha Tau, too. Yeah, Tal proved she's one of us today in the games. That's good enough for me. You look around the room and breathe a sigh of relief to see most people nodding in agreement. Look, no matter what, I'm going to make this up to you. I promise. I'm going to make this into my personal mission to take Markus down and... No. Your breath catches, and you finally look to see Channing watching you. You feel a lump of dread form in your stomach. What do you mean, no? I mean, you're not going to take Markus down. We are. I told you, didn't I? You're one of us. Alpha Tau always looks after our own. You meet his gaze as a sigh of relief ripples through the crowd. Tears spring to life in your eyes. Excuse me for just a second. You hurry out of the library into the common room, your legs shaking as they carry you there. These people are taking a chance on me. The last thing I need for them to see is me crying. Why? It's a very natural reaction. In a way, it's kind of tears of happiness. You sink out of the couch and bury your face in your hands, your shoulders shaking with relief. You hear the sounds of footsteps approaching and feel the unmistakable touch of Channing's hand on your shoulder. Hey, look at me. You wipe roughly at your eyes and meet his gaze. The sight of him makes you more emotional. I'm sorry. I never should have let Markus take a single step through our door. He would have weaseled his way in one way or another. What he did is not on you. He lifts your chin with a finger and kisses your cheek. You inhale sharply when his tongue flickers over your tear tracks. Take a breath, you're here. I've got you and I'm not letting you go. He sits down next to you and embraces you with both arms, holding you close. He's so much bigger and broader, you feel like you could melt into his embrace. Thank you, Channing. Not just for this, but for trusting me. He cups your face in his hands and kisses you, his sharp teeth scraping pleasantly at your lips. You're part of this pack now, Tal. I won't abandon you. I'd die for you if it came to it. You wrap your arms around him and deepen the kiss, moaning quietly when his tongue meets yours. Reassured by his words, you feel bold. You lie back on the couch, pulling his body on top of you. You kiss a trail from his jaw down the column of his neck. You shove his jacket and shirt aside to kiss his bare shoulder. Tal, he growls and a moan when you sink your teeth gently into his shoulder, suck, marking him. Sunk against you as he is, you can feel the bulge as it presses against your hip. He laughs huskily. You're not supposed to mark an alpha. Mark me then, claim me. Let the whole world see I belong to you. Pulls back to gaze at you with those fierce eyes. He kisses you, sucking your lower lip into his mouth, making you dizzy. Later, we've got a whole room of werewolves waiting, and they want revenge. Old Pat goes quiet when you and Channing walk back in the library. Cal meets your gaze, his face fraught with concern. All good? I am now, thanks, everyone. It means a lot to me that you were willing to hear me out. We won't let that jackass get away with what he did. I love the enthusiasm, but short of hunting Markus, I have no idea how we could possibly get back at him. We don't need to hunt him. We just need to beat him in his own game. You look at Cal surprised. She smirks back. What? I'm not allowed to be invested in this plot? I'm just suddenly worried for his life. I'm just interested to hear your thoughts. It's not often you chip in with ideas for my little schemes. Times change. I want to take the hack journalist down just as much as the rest of you. Here's what I'm thinking. Rami and Samara have a huge social media presence. 60,000 followers and counting. Almost 70,000 actually. But Callie, you always said social media was a waste of time. That was before I knew we could use it as a weapon. Let's fight fire with fire. Markus calls us a dangerous cult. We put him on blast on the Twin Social with our versions of the events. Let everyone know how he took advantage of a new student, asked her to spy on us, make him the story. Callie, that's brilliant. You're starting to get it, aren't you? All my ideas are brilliant. Channing mulls it over for a long moment, then looks to the twins. It could work, or you two up to the task? Are you kidding? We were born for this. It's so rare we get to post actual drama on our page. Then I'll leave it to Tal. Markus betrayed you the most of all. This should be your decision. Let's hurt him where it matters. Let's give Markus a taste of his own medicine. I knew you'd see reason someday. This is gonna be fun. Hell to the yes. Let's do it at the computer lab. We can watch people's faces when the posts drop. Diabolical. I like it. Well, let's roll out. I have a feeling this is gonna take a while, and there's a lot I want to say. Once the twins are settled in the front of their keyboards, they start furiously typing up notes while Kala watches. You sit on the opposite side of the table. Channing looms behind you with a possessive hand on the back of your neck. You're sure you want to do this, Tal? There's no going back once they hit post. I'm sure. But you're sweet for asking. It feels weird getting back at someone I thought was a friend, but I want to see this through. He rubs at your neck with his thumb in slow, soothing circles. Like I said, that asshole screwed you over worse than any of us. If we're gonna get back at him, it's gonna be on your terms. Still, the twins are the ones with the 60,000 followers. Any advice on how we can spin this thing? You know what they say. If it bleeds, it leads. We should go full apex predator here. You gotta be careful, though. Protest too much and people start to think there's something to the story. Right, but it's still gotta be juicy enough to hold the reader's attention. It's a fine line. And she's correct. You, Channing, and Kala watch the twins mutter indecipherable phrases to each other for a while. Kala sighs. I really hate that their social media addiction has become an asset for us. I'll take all the help I can get, but I'm still struggling to figure out the thesis of little hit piece. The basic question is, what are we going for? Should we keep it calm and diplomatic, or go for the throat? Restraint. Not what I was hoping you'd say. Yes, but it maybe will... If you show restraint, he'll either interpret it as this is the full amount you're going for, and maybe that's all you're capable of, and he'll not realize you could go an additional level or beyond, so... Look, I'd like to take him apart too. In fact, when I saw him today, I almost did. But Romy's right. If we come across as angry people, we're going to suspect there's more to this than there is. Well, technically there is. All the more reason to be as polite and respectable as possible. While still ripping him to shreds. I will say this, we need to start strong. Something that really grabs people's attention. Something salacious. Does he have any torrid affairs in his past? We could go the vicious route, really attack his character. All I'm hearing is a lot of speculation without anything to back it up. Kala's right. We should be as specific as possible. Let's address the complete lack of facts or proof. Accusing us of being bloodthirsty cult without any corroborating evidence displays a complete lack of ethics, not only on the part of the writer, Markus Barnes, but on Wolsey Herald itself. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Add in the Tal demands an immediate retraction. Maybe we're implying we're looking into suing him and the paper for libel? I'd settle just for ending his career, but sure, why not? This is getting good. What's next? I think it's time we really got our claws out. Go personal. Well, if you want to go personal, we should bring up the weird obsession he has with Channing. I'm listening. We can say Markus... I mean, he actually does hold a personal thing about Channing. He thinks he's the head of the cult, so... The minute we met, he started telling me you were dangerous and not what you seemed. Both true. I'm surprised he still wanted to associate with you after you joined. Well, he sort of thinks I did because I fell victim to your charm. His low laughter stirs the hair at the nape of your neck. Is that so far from the truth? Not totally. But I'm telling you, he's obsessed with you. The more I learn about the guy, the worse it gets. Let's hope when people read this, they'll have the same reaction. You see it fidgeting as Romy puts the final touches on her social media post. She and Sumera exchange a smirk. It's a masterpiece. And posted, there's no going back now. She hits send and exhales deeply, watching the screen like a hawk. All around you in the lab, people's phones ping. Oh my god, wait. There's like a call-out post about the whole Markus guy? I knew something was off about the article. What a weirdo. The students speak in hushed voices all around you. You glance back at Channing with a triumphant smile. Mission accomplished? He smirks and bends down to ghost his lips over the shell of your ear. For now, nice work, New Blood. Later that day, you head out into the woods to clear your head. You find a quiet spot and sit in the sun, but it's not long before you hear soft crunches of footsteps in the underbrush behind you. If you're trying to spy on me, Channing, it's not working. Channing's sultry laugh makes you shiver pleasantly. He sits down beside you on the soft earth. Not spying, just checking in. He stretches out beside you, impressive muscles flexing. For a moment, you sit together in silence. So spit it out, are you feeling better after earlier? Kind of, but I'm still... sorry for letting you down. You didn't let me down, pal. You made friends with the wrong guy. It happens. But I'm the one who pushed for Alpha Tau to branch out. And look where it got us. Markus had his sights on you. On us way before that. Maybe. I just can't help feeling like I gave him the nudge he needed to pounce. Channing, what if I'm not cut out for this? What if... Don't. I don't want to hear you doubt yourself because of that prick. It's not just him. It's all of it. I thought I was doing something good, pushing the alphas out of your comfort zone. But maybe you've been right all along. Bucking tradition might have been a huge mistake. Growls in frustration. There's something pensive in his expression. Something sad, even. I know I gave you a lot of grief for breaking my rules, but I think it's been good for us. So has your optimism. I don't want to see you lose faith in people like... He stops short. You watch his face carefully, searching for the hidden meanings in his words. Are you talking about yourself? I don't want to get into it. But you clearly have a lot on your mind. There's something bothering you. After you helped me today, you deserve a space to vent. It's my job to help my pack shoulder their burdens. Don't use the I'm the alpha shtick now, not now. It feels like every time you and I get closer, you start pushing me out again. Why? Rather than answering, Channing reaches for you and drags you into his lap. His hands roam greedily over your ass. You bite back a moan as he starts kissing your neck. This is what we call a distraction, so he doesn't have to actually talk about his feelings. Do we really have to overthink everything? Can't we just do what we're doing? His razor teeth graze your pulse point, making your head spin and your arousal throb. But I want to know who you are. I think I need to know. I'm not saying we can't keep having fun, but I worry about you sometimes. Is that so bad? He sighs and rests his head on your shoulder. If you have to be nosy, then fine. There are a couple things I could tell you. But first, you'll need to indulge me a little. There's a place I've been meaning to take you. A romantic place? He grins and the fire's eyes make your skin feel hot. Your arousal peaked. You'll have to come with me to find out. I want us to get closer. Fine, I'll bite. I'll go to your secret place if it means you'll give me some answers. Good choice, now hop on. He stands up and peels off his clothes until he's in his underwear. You watch his muscles ripple as he stretches out his arms to initiate the change to wolf form. His fingers stretch into claws while his skin sprouts thick, russet fur. You stare at him bemused. Hop on, are you really offering to be my faithful steed? He low laugh growls and butts his massive lupine head against your shoulder. Consider it a one-time indulgence. Grabbing fistfuls of fur, you pull yourself onto his back. It's weird feeling sitting on a wolf. Bristly fur, powerful muscles beneath you feel wild and uncontrollable. Hang on tight, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. Whoa. He leaps into the air with you on his back and tears through the forest at an incredible speed. You bury your face into the ruff of his neck. His tongue lolls out of his mouth as he begins to pant. You're doing better than I thought you would. I thought you'd be shaking like a leaf. Are you kidding? I'm having a blast. I didn't think I'd ever get a chance to ride a giant wolf. You say that like this is the first time you've ridden me. Ah! I like his. I like that. You scowl and tug sharply on his fur. Bad dog, don't ruin my fantasy protagonist dreams with your dirty mind. His muscles ripple sinuously as he vaults over the streams and rocks. When you cross into a clearing, he slows down, leaving you to gawk at your surroundings. Oh my god. Oh, wow, it's pretty. It's like a bunch of flowers, and there's like some beekeeper things, and... When you arrive, the garden is bathed in slanting afternoon light. Native flowers bloom at the corners of a rustic cabin. The only sounds you hear are birdsong and the gentle whoosh of the wind. You inhale deeply, savoring it. Did Alpha Tau make this? You dismount so you can walk around and take in everything. In a flurry of fur and claws, Channing transforms back into his human form. It was abandoned years ago. We just fixed it up and planted the garden. We come up here every once and then for maintenance. I thought you'd like it, considering... Without thinking, you throw your arms around Channing and catch his lips in a heated kiss. He growls in approval, kisses you back fiercely, his bare skin heated against you. I love it. I can't believe you never showed me this before. I have to keep some of my seduction tools a secret, otherwise you'll get bored of me. So you're bringing me here was a seduction tool. Lucky for you, you're cute. Otherwise, such a sloppy manipulation tactic wouldn't go unpunished. He smirks and presses kisses along your jaw, down your neck. Does that mean you'll let me undress you? With a mischievous smile, you push him away and start stripping off your own clothing. I can do it myself, but only because I don't want you to be the only one half naked. His gaze roves greedily over your exposed skin. How generous of you. His hands roam over your hips, waist, ass. His mouth travels a similar path along your upper body. Clearly they're pushing Channing as an ass man, because, yeah, they keep mentioning it quite frequently. You feel dizzy, hot with the promise of lust, only vaguely aware of why you came here to begin with. I don't know what's more distracting, your body or all the local flora. If the answer isn't my body, I'm about to be really offended. Okay, but seriously, look at this place. There are like 7 different species of fern I've been dying to sample. He spins you around and toys with the hem of your underwears, fingers dipping slowly inside. You gasp and he grins against your neck. By all means, keep going. I want to hear about the ferns. You moan when his Basically, we got handsy. Anyway, that was a hell of a distraction. You smile and press a kiss to his jaw, but your smile fades when he doesn't return it. Channing said he'd tell me about his past. Was the physical stuff just his way of stalling? But the gentle kiss he presses to your lips silences your doubts. When he pulls away, he looks troubled. I promised you I'd talk. I'll warn you, it doesn't come easy from me, so I'll do my best. My mother was an alpha wolf, just like me. From the stories I've heard, she was one of the best. Fierce, cunning, loyal, strong. She was exactly what an alpha should be and more. Was? She died. Long time ago, everything I knew about her I learned secondhand. Your heart breaks from him. You cup his face, stroking his cheek with your thumb, and he presses into the touch. The rest of my family tried to keep her dark secret from me for a long time, but eventually I figured out how she died. She fell in love, and when her mate, my father, was killed, she went completely feral. Channing, I'm so sorry. My parents died when I was a teenager. It hurt a lot, but at least I got to know them while they were alive. Losing your parents at such a young age, I can't even imagine. It's not just the fact that I lost them, it's the way their death has haunted my steps. The truth is, Tal, I've been trying my whole life not to fall in love. So, what are you saying? What does that mean for us? He steps away from you. First, put your clothes back on. Reluctantly, you obey. The few feet between you suddenly feels like a mile-wide chasm. I'm saying, I can give you all the physical pleasure you want. I can make you scream my name every night. But as far as everything else, as far as love is concerned, Tal, I just don't know if... Suddenly the phone in your pocket vibrates against your leg. You pull it out and find 3 texts from Lupe. Something happened back at the house. Lupe says it's an emergency. Damn it. Let's go. When you reach the house, you follow Channing as he stalks through the front door. What the hell's going on? Why is the whole house in an uproar? Alphas are rushing everywhere, pulling on jackets, packing clothes and travel bags and suitcases. Seriously, Lupe, where's the fire? The main Alpha chapter is called an emergency summit. Every pack has been ordered to report to the lodge immediately. You look at Channing, hoping he'll explain, but he just swears and bolts upstairs. You turn wildly to Lupe. Where's the lodge? What aren't you telling me? She and Asher exchange a dark look. Asher touches her shoulder gently as he speaks. The other Alpha Tau chapters found out about Markus's article. They're pretty pissed. And they're making you into an scapegoat. We're going to Colorado to defend your position in the pack. Your stomach sinks as you take in the weight of her words. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Alpha Tau's in trouble because of my mistake, and I might be forced to leave the frat for good. No, you aren't. Shut up. Alright, without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And in the description, plenty of links to check out and ways to support and become also a more intricate part of this community, this family that we've built. So with that being said, you know, we're catching up on this. Sorry about being sick. You know, literally it's a thing that everyone must go through, right? Unless you're Superman, and even one of the Supermen was sick as a child. So anyway, with that being said, you know, here we are. We've caught up to this Friday, officially. So I'm going to try working and putting out the stuff ASAP. So over the course of today, and then maybe tomorrow. With that being said, I could say a few things about Channing and this whole situation. I'll just say this. I definitely understand, the mother situation. I definitely understand that. Losing someone that you really care about can make people do a lot of things. Can make people give up, can make people go off the deep end, can really affect you, in mainly a negative way. Sadly, you know, here she was a werewolf, but let's take that away for a second. People, like I said, do go off the deep end, do bad things, etc. if they lose people that they really care about. It is unfortunately one of those things that you hopefully you never have to deal with. But let's just put it this way. The person that I lost, that I cared a lot about, all they ever wanted to do, right? Because they knew I had a lot of dark things that were happening to me and I was going through, right? That you guys can't even begin to fathom. And one of the things that they said to me was they just wanted to see me happy. And they just wanted to make sure I was happy. And so after I struggled for a time after their passing, I just kept remembering them and their words of just wanting me to be happy. And so I've continued to try and live my life in their honor. Trying to, anything and everything I do, making sure that it is in their honor. So that's why, for people in the past, you know, kind of like Markus, right? If you guys have been here with this channel long enough, you remember certain individuals and even a certain content creator try to do some really mean things to this community, this channel, and try and ruin us, right? Try and bring us apart instead of together, right? I wasn't just upset about them targeting me or the channel, because everything I do is for someone else. It's not just for me. And people, like I said, a lot of you and a lot of people will never understand that. To do things in other people's honor, to do things and live, let's be honest, to live for someone else, and everything you do is to be in their honor. So when people targeted me and targeted this channel and targeted the work we do, they weren't targeting me. They were targeting the people that, you know, not just that person that I lost, but my friends who I've lost over the years, family members, etc. I try and, like, you know, kind of like the fire that they carry to the Olympics, right? That is what I do with my life. I try and continue on this light of goodness. That's why you will never ever find me saying or doing something bad, because there's so many buffers between my brain and my mouth that it'll never happen. Because I make sure that it doesn't happen. Literally and figuratively. So, yeah, like I said, I definitely know the Markus types, right? I definitely know those people who love to smear you, tabloid you, libel you, defame you, etc. And it's something that I just do not stand for. It's just something I'm not for. Like I said, if you've been here long enough, you know. If you don't, feel free to ask and I'll reply and let you know. I can even send you a video because we did address it in a few videos, because that's how much offense I took to. And then the fact that we found out that it was all just for clout, it was all for likes, it was all for views, it was for my subscribers. So then you guys would go watch their channel and subscribe to them because my air quote channel would be canceled, right? I'll still never forget it. At this point, I'm not letting them live rent-free in my head, right? But, they did what they did. And it is what it is. Right? I don't care anymore. Right? I've moved on because, again, after 6+ years of doing choices, you can't find a single screenshot or audio clip of this voice, of any voice that I've ever done. You would literally have to AI fabricate it at this point, and good luck, because that shit ain't solid yet. You would have to AI fabricate it of me ever saying something bad. I wish you best of luck. Right? So, once again, love your beautiful faces. Thank you all for being loyal viewers, especially for those of you who stay towards, the end of the video and listen to, thoughts or messages that I have at the end of the videos. I try and keep them short and simple, but sometimes, Pixelberry does write about some good things, especially things that, may hit on a nerve or something that is relevant, and I typically will address and talk about. So, once again, thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Peace out.